stage here. I think they've done an excellent job. Should they knock the pedestal out from underneath of CYCLOPS today, then I will change my mind even more, and it will be a considerable shake-up to the standings. But that doesn't matter because we need to see how this is going down. We've got those bans coming up, and now that we're on Oregon, I expect to see some pretty default bans, Ace.
I would agree with you. I have found this is my first stage inside of APAC North, to be fair, and I have obviously we do get that little bit of variation to what we might expect sort of out of the more, I don't want to say mainstream leagues, but your NAL, your EUL. You know, we do get a little bit of difference. Ying has been a popular one coming out again. What do you think the particular fear there is with Ying? Obviously, there's the Candelas and the flashing, but not an operator we tend to see used overly much.
Oh, no. I mean, this is a staple for CAG. That's a target ban. They will bring it almost 50% of the time when it's available, especially on this map. So that's just a target ban to make sure that they don't bring it. And I think it's a fair enough one at that.
Mirror going as well then. Back to default we go. Thatcher and Mirror, of course, being two that we see regularly taken out on here. Now, maybe an intel op could be the final defender ban. A lot of popular bans go to Valkyrie, Maestro. There we go. Maestro coming in. So just removing those evil eye cameras, and it's all about cutting down information on Oregon.
I like that they've gotten rid of the Maestro because DAMWON Kia do play it, but they play Valkyrie more. Now, I'm wondering if that's because CYCLOPS want to keep the Valkyrie in, and that's the most banned operator in almost all of the world at the moment on the defensive side is Valkyrie. So for me, I'm wondering whether or not they want to keep that as part of their defensive lineup. We'll see as they start picking their composition here. Not featured just yet, maybe a 6-pick coming out. I'm a little worried because you might have done better with the Valkyrie ban. It doesn't matter. This is the first time in a very long time I've seen an emphasis on the IQ in the APAC North region. Don't 6-pick off it, yes. Honest to God, this region has issues with taking IQ outside of like the Fnatic team. And it is frustrating to me because it is such a good operator. Super
valuable operator, as you say. You know, the electronics, especially with things like IQ seems to get a lot of almost sort of like shadow buffs, if you will, I'd like to call it. You know, the nerf comes into Thatcher, and all of a sudden, IQ is that little bit more important because now Thatcher's not destroying gadgets, but IQ can get underneath, can shoot them out. You know, and it's only marginal gains for IQ, but it happens each time these sort of electronic denial operators get changed a little bit. IQ just seems to get left alone. She stays where she is, and like you say, super valuable.
Well, it was a 6-picked out for the Yana, and what that indicates to me is that I don't think they'll use it necessarily for a roam clear, but you can use it to get a little bit of intel, especially if you do a blue push. I know AAGate has opened up that hatch above. Addict's been made to rotate. A line of sight from rotate down to backstairs has been popularized recently. I don't want to say popularized as a convenient thing for all teams, but something that several players have worked out. I can go here, I can challenge the backstairs. I don't have to start up here, but it's a good opportunity in the mid to late round.
Certainly one that to keep the attackers on their toes, because like you say, you go in there, you think, oh, I'm safe here, and then somebody rotates in, and all of a sudden it's a different story. Now, pressure immediately being mounted from the attackers towards that big tower, probably going all the way up to T3, which is what we call the top floor up there. Get themselves established, work their way down, and make sure that they've got it cleared out. Courted has indeed opened up that window, so that's going to be the job of the Sophia there. And again, just trying to get that drone in, get that information, make sure they're aware of where everybody is. Now, Yas on the Iana has got in quickly to Armory as well. So this is looking to me just like a complete map clear almost. We've got Woogie Man working in through kitchen dining. They really want to make sure there's no roamers out there to hassle them.
Maybe they're doing, look at where Katsang is right now. What I think they're doing is a freezer and lobby push down front stairs into laundry, which I hate to put my bias into this, but this isn't even just bias. This is statistics over EU and APAC North. It is not a good push statistically. It can be very hard to win, and 9 times out of 10, it turns into absolute gunfights. So I worry about that a little bit. Zamugem is still on that washing machine below, and that's a bit of an OG trick there, but easily dispatched with Woogie Man's torch. He'll be able to shoot that one out. For me, I know this doesn't work often, and I know teams like to do it because they don't want to get rid of all the stuff inside of blue, but it doesn't have a good win rate.
I can double down on your point there, Jess, with an example from LATAM, and that is a team that are very good at doing this push, freezer and laundry particularly, is Team Liquid. But as you say, it comes down to gunfights, and who've they got? Palu and Nesk, who are going to win 80-90% of their gunfights, and so no surprise to see a team like that doing so well.
That's not to say DAMWON Kia don't have gunners as well, but they don't necessarily have the Nesk or the, you know, the Sexy Cake, for example, to be able to do it. Oh, you're so lucky that was a Gemini Black Raid, because that was going to be a missed opportunity. As we get down to the last 45 seconds, however, Coda decides that this is the angle for him to use instead. But I do argue that now Gatterado has been pushed back to Pillar, and with the pinch essentially trying to come through Freezer here, Ace, they've got to speed this up just a little bit.
Certainly do. And interesting use of the defenders' rotations from the attackers there. As you say, when you're setting up, you've always got to be aware that that could be the case. Now, the pressure is mounting on CYCLOPS here, but they've done well so far. 20 seconds left to go. They still have 5 remaining. We've yet to see an opening kill. That will come in a matter of seconds, I've absolutely no doubt. As Rim pushes around the corner, it all goes in the favour of CYCLOPS. 4 kills on the bounce, back to back. And like a hot knife through butter, CYCLOPS cut through that DAMWON defence, and that is round 1 done and in the books.
I hate when, no, I hate, in this case, I love it. I love when I say something and it honestly just comes to fruition right in front of all of our eyes. It does not work well when you do a freezer and lobby / main stairs push. Why? Because it devolves into gunfights, and I mean, you had no leverage there. No pinch positions, no grenades sailing on through, no lines of sight being blocked by smokes, for example. You didn't even open up any of the walls outside of the hatch, really. So for me, it was a bit of a half-baked kind of push there from DAMWON Kia. I hope that's not their only strategy they've got, and that they can rotate to do a back push. Won't matter though, defenders have won the downstairs site, they'll go to the upstairs site, and if I have a look at the statistics here, at least if we go back and see how CYCLOPS usually does on the top floor, it is one of their favourite sites, second to Laundry, and they also do really well on it statistically. So if CYCLOPS are flawlessing downstairs, you can expect, I mean, if this is to forebode anything, a good round here from CYCLOPS.
DAMWON did play on Oregon back in play day 1 against Fnatic. They did see attacking success up on the top floor. It's actually the only site that they had attacking wins on. They won 2 out of 3 up there. So the pressure will no doubt come to CYCLOPS, but as you say, they are certainly a team who can withstand it. So looking at what we have got so far, pretty standard setup. We've got Anaton now just looking to reinforce off both sides of Attic, so they will try to keep hold of that. The hatch has been opened as well, which does allow for potential pressure to be applied to Attic from meeting underneath from the defenders if they so choose. Now, looking, they don't have any nitros on site, so that won't be an option, but you can get some nice angles. We did see one used earlier in the week in EUL by Prano to get a brilliant kill onto Kendra, if you remember, Jess, up through that Attic hatch. So certainly can be done. Now, Black Ray just getting aggressive onto that armory window. He does not want to allow anybody in there too quickly.
Unfortunately for Ren, losing that drone earlier on could have actually been a flank drone. I hate, oh, Boogeyman, no. Oh, that's a fat figure if I've ever seen one right there. What a shame. No, because you know what is so important about this top floor, especially if you do an attic push, is having those grenades to be able to flush out pig position. And the pig position is all the way back where it meets the sort of the hop down where Anaton is. Thank you very much. You could take Anaton out if you were to cook the ADS. You could also take out that frost mat that is unknown to you. But Anaton says, all right, even if you don't have a grenade, I have that particular weapon in my hand, and he'll drop down and get on out of there. And the shield's there as well. I mean, there's so much there to deal with. Missing out on that particular frag is going to be a waste, but Anaton, they knew you dropped down, bro. That's a bit of a freebie.
Certainly handed it to him on a silver platter there, as the drone was clearly watching him move away, and DAMWON just able to make great use of that information. Black Ray also going to take the option to drop a hatch there, but there is another drone. Manages to win the fight this time against Coated, shutting him down with a beautiful headshot onto the main door. So that leaves us 4 versus 3 now in favour of CYCLOPS, only losing the Frost so far. Yas is going to make a quick push into Armory there, and here DAMWON Kia just trying to get that sort of surrounding CYCLOPS feel here, but not going well so far.
My problem is that if you want to do a split push like this, then you need to have the pressure over towards Attic. I understand you're struggling to get open the closet wall, and as a result, you need a little bit more of assistance to be able to get it. They managed to get that long angle shield towards dorms, and the wall does end up getting open, but that split pressure they have from Attic is now missing Ace, and it doesn't matter if you open it up, you just need to be able to push on in and get that pinch when the count matters.
Split pressure or not, Yas manages to find himself a kill on into sight, shutting down Gatorada on the Jaeger, even as 3 versus 3 with 35 seconds left to go. This is going to come down to another one of those late round bloodbaths that we love to see so much. They really are excitement and just ramp the energy up inside of the server. 20 seconds left to go, and DAMWON Kia need to think about pushing, and they need to think about doing so soon. Woogie Man, he's very aware of that attic window, wants to apply pressure from Kids, won't be able to, and he's right to be aware as Suzuki just shuts him down. Anaton, Suzuki doubles down, a Pogmat gets in on the action as well, Jess, and it's another great defense from Cyclops.
Just a great rid of the situation there from Cyclops. I want to say, and unlike their Japanese brethren of Guts, they play really passive to the point where I think they've worked out very early on here, even down to round 1, that DWG Kia are taking their time, and that if they hold their positions and their crossfires, they don't need to do anything else. And that's the easiest way to win a defense. In fact, it's also the most boring way to win a defense for a team, because you're just sitting there waiting. You don't have to really do much. They're not really cooking anything. They're not really forcing you out of your position by, maybe getting some verticals underneath you or throwing grenades at your position. I mean, the only person that really suffered in that particular round was the rotate down, and that was about it. So for me, Cyclops, they're doing pretty well here, Ace, but I think if DWG Kia work out that things haven't been going too well for them, they need to change up the speed, maybe a little bit more aggression. It might work better for them.
Round number 3, we find ourselves then in kitchen and dining, correctly identified by you, Jess, as Cyclops' preferred site over meeting, where we might see DWG Kia choosing to take the meeting as their tertiary site. So this time around, we are looking at a setup which is focusing towards that small tower. There's a lot of utility being applied into showers. We can see there's almost certainly going to be a player located in there, as there is a rotate out that we've just seen Suzuki just adapting a little bit there, putting the Surya gate on to make sure that it's not an easy passage should the attackers get themselves established in there.
Without having the Maestro to work with here, Shaz becomes a little bit more tricky. So what they've done to compensate with that is bring Surya gates. I like that. Now, I would like to see where that bulletproof went. I'm not sure where the medic spotted where that was slapped down, but that would help me considerably. He doesn't have it in pocket. So finding out where that went would be super handy, just because once we know where that is, whether it's feeding line, there we go. Okay, so it is feeding default plant position behind couch. Good. Shower's position becomes a little bit tricky there, Ace, because they don't have the Evil Eye, they don't have any Valkyrie cams. So that's the only position I'm a little worried about. But they seem a little bit more worried about top floor at the moment.
Quarter just applying some pressure immediately towards that double window. As you say, they're looking to get that top floor and vertical supremacy. They want to be able to use those lines of sight down into sight, but more importantly, to prevent Cyclops from being able to look at using those angles for diffuser denial should they get into a position for a plant. Now, Yas is able to move into attic pretty much uncontested there, but he will find that the wall through to kids' dorms is just double reinforced at the minute, so no easy ingress into sight for him, but potentially an option to start locking down a few angles. And Black Ray, he's just holding on to that vertical angle for the time being to make it difficult, make sure that Courted can't just hop in through that window, and it appears that DWG Kia are well aware of his position.
Gatorada might be saved here by those 2 ADSs. I don't think they'll expect 2. They'll expect 1, but instead he's throwing his body right at the Maverick holes, and a perfectly placed C4 will collect Woogie Man, who had the grenades to deal with Gatorada. Guess who's left? Only Yas with the grenades, and that is going to be crucial because all 3 ADSs are strewn throughout that dorms area. For me, Ace, this is the perfect setup. They're going to have to hit their shots because grenades are absolutely not going to hit here.
Rin is looking into kids' dorms, obviously aware that there is a man there, but for the time being, Gatorada's just going to hold that angle. He's going to take the shots. He's going to take the life. That's Rin shut down. 5 versus 3, and another round that is going landslide in the direction of Cyclops right now. And DWG Kia just applying all their attention, all their efforts towards just one player here. They just cannot move Gatorada out of here, but they cannot push onto site until they've done it. And Katsang, he manages it eventually, but that leaves us with only 30 seconds left. And boy, they'd better hope that they're aware of Black Ray underneath, because if not, he's going to shut down Courted. But they certainly are. You see him see the pixel, you take the shots, but misses. Just bullet skimming by the head of Black Ray there, and the Alibi able to dive away and just keep himself alive for another few seconds into this late round. 10 seconds left to go. Man disadvantage, 3 versus 4. It's looking more and more unlikely for DAMWON Kia here, identified by the Alibi. Courted will, however, shut down Suzuki as the challenge comes in, but it's all in vain. It's all for nothing as CYCLOPS are able to see out the 3 minutes and keep those bombs activated.
How long do you think Black Ray stood under that vertical and held that double window and didn't move a pixel? I don't think Black Ray moved his mouse for, and I'm going to guesstimate here, about 60 to 70 seconds straight. I would give or take between 60 to 70, maybe even longer. Maybe I'm just giving too much, pre-thought here. That is how much what I said before about CYCLOPS and their ability to be able to hold angles, hold power positions and not give them up. And I was a little worried that Gutterada was putting too much emphasis towards the wall where the Maverick was. And I thought to myself, no, you've got 3 ADSs, don't overextend. You're in a really good position in dorms. Just play the position. And, well, play it he did. He wasted, 2.5 minutes of the round in total? Beautiful from the defenders. All CYCLOPS need to do is just hold the angles and wait. And whilst that might be a boring bit of gameplay, that's an easy win for CYCLOPS.
I got to point out, coming into round 4 here, Jess, look at that leaderboard. 4 kills across the entire team for DAMWON Kia. And this is not what we expect from this team. Just let me put that in a bit of perspective for you. Yas right now is leading the entire league on kills. Has more kills than anybody else. And so far has found 1 inside of 3 rounds. CYCLOPS are just doing a great job here. And I'm sure that will continue coming into round 4, where we see them going back down to laundry again.
I want to see what this roam from CYCLOPS entails, because I don't think it's necessary. I hate to say it, but I don't think they really need to get too aggressive outside of the site. Just keep letting DAMWON waste their time off site, willy-nilly around. I mean, we've got to look at where Coda despawned here. They've decided to change it up. I will give DWG Kia the benefit of the doubt here and to say it doesn't look like so far they're going to repeat their mistakes. But I do want them to be very careful here that if they try split push and it goes wrong and they lose numbers in blue, that's going to be very, very bad. No, Black Ray, you were so lucky.
The timing, just a couple, I was going to say a couple of seconds, but it wasn't even that much. It was a fraction of a second off. We saw it come in, and just before that nade was about to detonate, it went deep enough to be picked up by the ADS and save Black Ray's life, and he's able to dip away and just keep himself now down behind that deployable shield, and doing a great job so far, CYCLOPS, of keeping DAMWON Kia out of the bunker. They have just fronted them up. They've got aggressive towards that push. They've put a slight challenge onto the double door. They've then gone and deployed a surrogate late into the round, really, but just made things difficult for DAMWON to do what they want to do.
You know why they deployed that late as well? And I really have to give it to CYCLOPS here. They went, oh, guys, they're not doing the usual freezer front push. Make sure you rotate all of your stuff over towards back because they've decided to change. And guess what? Because DWG Kia had their support players spawn in the wrong spot, they weren't there in time. Surrogate goes down, ADS and catches, that grenade, and things start to look worse for wear, because the moment you start wasting utility is the moment you will lose time. You have to start dealing with people with gunfights, and I mean, CYCLOPS, they've been dominating that so far.
Pressure being applied now to that meeting hatch, looking for a potential drop into electrical, but just that's a perfect view of it. Suzuki, Black Ray, Gutterada and Alligator just in a big circle around electrical there. Wherever you drop, whatever angle you take, DAMWON, you are going to be on the back foot.
Do they not know he was roaming? Did they not drone him out? That is really, really poor intel collection there from DWG Kia. And I don't usually say that about the team because they usually have a pretty good indication of what's going on in the map. You saw them in round 1. They cleared over from small tower over Ace. Not sure what's going on there, but he's reigning free all over the map there, that Mozzie.
Certainly is, and just... again, watch out for that in the next 15-20 seconds because the push is going to have to come in towards site. DAMWON do not have time to deal with that operator right now. Courted manages to deal with Gutterada, shutting down the Jaeger. That leaves us 4 versus 4, and the time is ticking. Rin finds Alligator, and this has got DWG Kia a little bit of an advantage here. They've got control over electrical and pillars. They can start moving in. They can't move past Black Ray, though, who shuts down Quartered with a shotgun. Anaton gets in on the action, and once again, we're just seeing that core from CYCLOPS able to shut down the impending push and just see out the timer. DAMWON doing too little for too long and making life hard work for themselves.
I feel confused by DWG Kia's attacks, and the reason I say confused is that if you go back to their statistics in the past, I'm going to give them, let me change the range to 2 months. Well, actually, let's make it 3 months. Give them the benefit of the doubt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. One of them includes C9. 14 wins on Oregon in a row. Yep. That's DWG Kia. I'm not talking about CYCLOPS here, Ace. I'm talking about DWG Kia.
And they're just not... I don't know what we're seeing out of DWG Kia right now, if I'm honest. I mean, coming into...
This surely can't be usual.
No, coming into round 5, I mean, I've already flagged up the kills issue. As you say, Oregon is a map that they are certainly familiar with. And right now, we are just seeing nothing out of them. You know, I don't want to be too critical. I don't want to get, you know, too much onto them. But they're 4-0 down to CYCLOPS. And that is not 4 close rounds. That's 4 rounds where 2 of them have been over 3 minutes and CYCLOPS have just been able to wait it out. And then the other 2, one of them was flawless. And CYCLOPS have just been able to shut down DWG Kia at every single turn here. And this is not the DWG Kia that we have seen throughout the season. We've seen them struggle with consistency a little bit. They've not always brought their absolute best to the table, but we really have not seen their absolute worst, which is what I think we're close to seeing right now.
I wonder if they're a little bit... how do you put it? I mean, I don't want to say scared, but they're tentative going up against CYCLOPS. I mean, maybe they're just sitting there going, all right, it's CYCLOPS. Make sure you're careful. You do everything step by step. You know, we don't want it to be taken advantage of by one of the best teams in the league. When you overthink something like that and you don't play your game, you start to play their game. I think they're playing CYCLOPS' game here, and that's a shame because DWG Kia, they're a damn good team.
I think overwhelmed is probably a good word for it.
Yeah.
Just coming in and, as you say, trying to deal with every element of the CYCLOPS game instead of saying, you know what, we're going to push from that side of the map, we're going to clear across, and if there's any roamers in our way, they're going to die whilst we do it. And then our focus is going to be X, Y, and Z. Instead of that, it's like... right, who's out on the roam? Oh my word, how do we deal with that person? And it seems to be becoming a bit of a problem for them at the minute. Gatorada still hasn't been dealt with out there on the roam as the Jaeger. We've got some immediate pressure being applied to main lobby by Quartered. Rin looks to be getting into armory, and we've got a couple at Big Tower. So they're certainly doing the right things in terms of trying to clear out for a Dorm's push, but Gatorada just prepping a potential run out there. A little bit late at the minute, but as Quartered moves towards Master, there might be an opportunity.
Well, it doesn't really matter at the moment because what that pressure below will do is allow for any C4s to come raining up, but there is none. So I do wonder what the purpose of their pressure is. I referenced this last time that in order to get pig control, you need to be able to sail out those ADSs. Who on earth cooks ADSs with grenades? That is the weirdest combination I've ever seen here, Ace. But they finally shoot a grenade over towards pig. Surigate still active on the wall, and Rin gets a kill onto the smoke, so no smoke babes left for the late round. But considering that hasn't really been necessary so far, considering how long DWG Kia have been taking with their rounds, it's actually not a huge loss.
It's really not, and interestingly, Gatorada now has moved back to site and just closed up that double window, but we were questioning the roam underneath. It looks like Black Ray is still down there. What I was hoping for was a potential armory flank, which at the minute could be critical here, because that is where DWG Kia are stacking up, and that looks like it's exactly where Black Ray is heading now. He's got himself into laundry now. Quartered, you could be particularly important here, just waiting outside of that main door, and that could be a very vital flank drone. As it is, Black Ray has had to move away, back underneath, up the freezer stairs, looking to get slippery. He's had to move back up white stairs because DWG have applied good pressure. But it's as if Woogie Man was completely unaware that he was actually operating in the same area. And it's a freebie for the Ella from the top of white stairs. 4 versus 4, and the clock is becoming the enemy once again for DWG Kia as Black Ray finds a second. This time headshot onto Yas. 10 seconds to go and it's all falling apart, Jess. This is like a wet paper bag that's just being ripped to pieces by CYCLOPS right now. There is absolutely nothing here. They look like an abandoned theme park right now. There is nothing for DWG Kia to go on.
So many questions here because I want to see CYCLOPS tested. I more than anyone want to see Cyclops tested. I like to see the big teams at the top of the standings be tested by teams who have fresh new ideas, gunners that aren't from their own national league, let's say, because DAMWON Kia is from the Korean league, and of course Cyclops is part of the Japanese league we referenced earlier. So they're from two different leagues. They don't often play each other. In fact, they don't play each other unless it's in things like Pro League, you know, Tier 1 here. So I don't want the viewers to think that this is what DWG Kia is like, because they are not. They are absolutely not like this usually. This is not indicative of the team that I know them to be. And I think it is a pure shame, because this could have given us a better indication as to how their last week game could go. And that's how we want to see the standings shake up, because they're currently 4th place. They could have with this game, and they still could possibly, now that we're on the last round of defense here for Cyclops, maybe they're going to be defender-sided today, but the last game for DWG Kia is against Fav. And with how Fav have been playing, Ace, that would have almost certainly been 3 points. Imagine where they could sit at the end of this stage if they win this game and the next.
It's honestly just, it's baffling me a little bit at the minute. You know, I look at the standings.
Yeah.
Yas is the 4th rated player overall.
Yes.
Top kills. I mean, that may have changed now, because obviously we've got a few more raining in on the side of Cyclops. But coming into this game, more kills than any other individual inside the league, and 4th rated. And right now is sat 1 and 4 and has been just completely nullified by this Cyclops defense, as have the rest of DAMWON. And, you know, coming in here, I wasn't just hopeful for DAMWON competing. I thought they genuinely might be able to turn a result out here, given the performances that they've shown us so far. If they came through and showed us the best that they've given us so far through the stage, this could have been a real 2-horse race. Right now, they are facing an absolute mammoth task in front of them.
Oh, well, they're going to have to deal with this kitchen defense again. Last time they struggled ever so much to be able to displace Gatorada over towards the edge of what am I calling it? Kid storms. There you go. Yeah, sometimes call outs, they just
elude you. They just slip by you.
Yeah, and I'm like, excuse me? I've been playing this game for how many years? Come on now, I know every single call out on this map. Nevertheless, it's you know, I can't use the "it's late" anymore, can I, Ace? No, I can't.
I don't think you can get away with that one, if I'm honest, Jess. But no? Right now, DWG Kia, they need to get away with something, and Woogieman manages to escape from that nitro. Heads up player there as he sees it coming up through the floor and just dips away from it, just keeping himself alive to maintain that pressure coming into dorms. We saw last time around on this site, they were unable to move Gatorada, and it really hurt them. DWG Kia, they're trying to get aggressive, they're trying to actively push in here, and they need to start finding some kills soon.
Well, that Valkyrie cam's fed a lot of information over to Cyclops there. They were pinging multiple people, but it doesn't matter, because guns are what do the damage. 3 in a row here for DWG Kia. Are they turning the tide? Is the momentum shifting after we just said that this is not the DWG Kia we know here, Ace? Are they able to bring things back around as we are in the last round of the first half, which could really show us that they are ready to bring it into the second half?
I'm just really glad that there's a potential here that DWG Kia shows at least one round where we get the best out of them and what they can do, and it doesn't look like we're making it up, Jess. Right now, the Thermite Katsang just going to open up that meeting through to kitchen wall. Black Ray finds himself inside of the security room, but there is no security to be found as he steps out into the corridor. Top freezer stairs and is shut down by Yas for the round. There we go. Nice, easy 180. Flick onto the headshot on the pulse, and that closes things out for DWG Kia. And the question we've got to ask now, is that going to break the seal, Jess? Is this the point where DWG Kia can start just opening up the floodgates of a few rounds?
Yes. Yes. Come on. Bring it, DAMWON. Bring your absolute best. If you're looking at statistically, they're defender-sided on this particular map, so that already forebodes really good things for them. They won that last round as a momentum breaker, a shift. They didn't even take a timeout, Ace. That's something that we need to talk about here. They haven't even taken a timeout. They just kept talking to each other and went, no, we can do this, we can do this, we can do this. And they've been able to snatch that last round. Very important, because that means that Cyclops was not guaranteed a single point just yet. If Cyclops win one of the next 4 rounds, then yes, of course, then they will win. They will at least guarantee themselves 1 point and maybe in overtime. So for DWG Kia now, it is their chance to prove us right. you're right. They need to turn around and prove us right, because we have been talking really good things about them, and I do truly believe that.
It's fascinating that you mentioned the potential for a tactical timeout there, Jess, and it's something that I find really, really interesting as to just how it impacts on the mental game in an ongoing scenario like this. And I look at it and I think, would that turn of sides actually have been a great time for that tactical timeout for DAMWON? As you say, it's the momentum breaker. Why not double down on that and give another 30 seconds to CYCLOPS to just really let it sink in that actually DAMWON have just took the round. They're now on the defense. We've broken that momentum and just let them sort of steady the ship a little bit. But I can also appreciate the flip side of it, where it's like, right, we've got the round, we don't want to break our own momentum. And this is why I love that tactical timeout process. It's just so fascinating.
Well, CYCLOPS have been trying desperately. I think back to, was it Consulate, where they were desperately trying to make this Monty work? It actually didn't work too well for them. So maybe on Oregon here, the tighter corridors, the ingress almost straight onto power positions, maybe Anaton can really make it work. Because remember, Anaton has been one of the Ash mains for their team. The fact that he's now put on a shield where he can't particularly shoot back is an interesting one, and it's that APAC has taken over that role exponentially as this stage has gone on. So I like that they're trying things with the shield. It is very oppressive. It's a very oppressive operator. DWG Kia, they just need to be aware that all he is a scouting operator. He's there yellow pinging, try not to shoot at him, focus on what's around him.
Rin, the equivalent there almost of a child walking past an unattended bell. Just there has to be an opportunity there to just ring it, because you can. Just moves past and takes a few shots at the front of the Monty. Let's make a bit of noise. Let's make sure the Monty is aware that I'm here. I just can't resist. I'm just going to, I know it won't do anything, but I'm going to take the shots now. Katsang looking in conjunction with the Aruni, of course, there to just apply pressure to that bunker door and prevent any immediate ingress from CYCLOPS. Doing well so far, holding them back for half a round, and Rin just looking to play and lock down pillars. Right now, Anaton is just fulfilling a purely informational role on that Monty, just keeping himself safe at the top of those race stage stairs and feeding information back in as to what is happening around pillars and freezer door. And I'd like to see something maybe from DAMWON to try and disrupt his position there.
God, what an oppressive presence that Anaton has here over towards that pillar spot. You know that Rin wants to hold it, because that's essentially the Jaeger position. Pinged out and taken out as a result. Headshot from APAC. This is what they've been working towards, is using the Monty and the yellow pings in conjunction for free kills. It's almost like having walls, Ace, and that is what they are using him for. That's what they'll continue. And the fact that this wall hasn't been reinforced, it works both ways. Get one kill. Can he get two? No, shut down by the skeleton key, and now with 30 seconds left, this is going to have to be a perfect ingress here from the Monty, because he's not doing too well here, Ace. He's getting knocked about.
He's getting knocked about, but when he gets pushed into the corner, he manages to fight his way out with some body blows there. Anaton just pushing back, resisting, and getting himself the kill. This is Yas 1 versus 2. He has to try and play the clock here. He has to let that timer be his duo. Gets the kill onto Gatarada. The plant is going down from Anaton. Can he find him? This is dangerous now. He needs to get to Monty before the shield comes out, and he's too late. Monty now, Anaton able to just block off that rotate and can just play smart here, play into the corners. Can he find the kill? This is going to be a dance of death now, as Yas does everything he can to try and wiggle around, maneuver to try and disrupt that Monty and move the shield, but this should be unwinnable for Yas from here. He just needs to try and do something to bait out Anaton, but he's playing it smart. He's jiggling, he's moving, he's keeping himself fluid and active. You wouldn't think that there was that much movement to come out of what is essentially a rock-solid shield, but look at Anaton. He's just dancing. He's moving around. His footwork is unbelievable. He goes for the challenge when he knows that the timer is done. It doesn't matter that Yas gets the kill. Well played 1v1 from Anaton on the Monty there. Perfect example.
What a lot of people might not realize is in that situation, and I understand he was jiggling left and right, and that's the counter you have, but recently they added something called shield break, and it's where it will knock back the shield ever so slightly if you melee it, etc. And so that's a possibility there. If you want to be able to deal with a Monty in those 1v1 situations, you can melee and it would knock up the shield to about a mid-shin height level. And so you could shoot the foot of the Monty, of which, given Anaton's HP, he was only one bullet away from DBNO. So Anaton was so lucky that he stayed alive for as long as he did there. This propels Cyclops onto match point, and it secures them at least 1 point. And if DAMWON don't win the next 5 rounds in a row, they walk away with the loss, and that propels Cyclops onto how many points now? So tied with Cloud9. There you go, 15. It'll put them in tied first place, and given the head-to-head, we won't know that until the very last play day. Ooh,
it's just
that
getting
is
settled, yeah.
Ooh, baby, yes. Bring me all of those spicy matches. Oh my God.
It really is like going into a restaurant, ordering the hottest dish on the menu, and right now we're just asking for that chili sauce on top. We're saying, have you got any hot sauce? Have you got anything I can add on to this? And now Cyclops are just pouring it on top, and it really is getting fascinating. It could come down to a straight up head-to-head result if the points are tied. It could be, depending on Cloud9's result, of course, later on today, it could be a position where it is just winner takes all. So it's certainly poised for an explosive finish. Now, round number 8 we move into. We're going to be heading to a meeting room defense here instead of dorms, Jess.
If you want to throw like a little bit of a pocket strat out, this is it. You know what I mean? Most teams, in fact, the highest win rates are on the offsites on this map. So I am not surprised that they'll go here, because both meeting and kitchen and dining have some of the highest win rates on the defensive side, purely probably because when you set that up, you need really strict tactics. But I still think that Cyclops, given they've held top 4 before, you know, in the first half, they know exactly how to dismantle this, eh? So, little worry for DAMWON Kia. Is it just Woogieman upstairs? Or does he have someone with him there, medics? I know our beautiful observer is spotting out at the moment. Okay, Rin's over towards games. So that's an okay crossfire. But if Rin gets caught out, then Woogieman's on his own, and that could be trouble.
Blackray's pushed into dining immediately here, just not concerning himself with that top floor whatsoever. He's got other members of the team that are going to be dealing with that. Now, Cooking the nade to go in will be taken out by the ADS. A second follows it and will do a little bit of chip damage to Woogieman, but certainly nothing significant enough to move him along. Blackray actually dips himself back out of dining now. He was just having a cheeky little look into the kitchen to see if he could find himself a tasty treat, but doesn't find a morsel. So this time he's going to head towards White Stairs, and he's looking to cut off a rotate. He might well choose to push himself up there and just aggress on when the time comes, but we can see shots raining in from Rin onto Gatorada. He just gave his position away there with the shots through into Attic, was unable to secure himself a kill, and will find himself on the wrong end of that one. Quartered shuts down Anaton, and we find ourselves 3 versus 5 after a flurry of mid-round action there.
Well, yes, he got peppered straight through that wall, and that was a really good shot. My problem is that Cyclops are taking so many 1v1s. What is this about? You could push as a team. You could try and pinch the player above. Maybe you want to go in a meeting and just take that control instead. Instead, we have seen 3 1v1s in total. We're about to see another here between Blackray and Woogieman. Woogieman is the winner, and it won't be a flawless round here because Suzu C was able to catch one onto Rin rotating down those armory stairs, but this just seems like an impossibility here, because when you have 5 1v1s and you only win one of them, that doesn't bode well for you.
1v4 remaining there. Needs to try and break these up into individual firefights, but the problem is DAMWON Kia, they're not going to give the satisfaction of that to Suzuki. They've got the diffuser down and they know that, so they just draw him in, pull him along, and allow Quartered to then move in on the reverse angle, coming in from meeting. As soon as he makes a motion towards going for that diffuser, heading in that direction, the kill comes in. They knew that he had to at least think about going and clearing up that briefcase. He had absolutely no option, realistically, of collecting and getting it down on the ground. But a second round to DAMWON Kia, and they are slowly fighting back, but there's a lot of work to do.
Well, there you go. It looks like there are cracks in the strategy of Cyclops, and they might not be as dominating as this scoreline would currently suggest. That round was just pure gunfights. In fact, I don't think I saw a lot of strategy from Cyclops almost at all, which is a shame when you see a team, they're bringing an ace, they're bringing a Twitch, for example, maybe they've got grenades on their side as well. It's a little bit of a shame that you have all this to work with and you don't put any of it to use. So for DWG Kia, this is a really good thing, because if Cyclops keeps taking the lazy way out of their attacks, and DAMWON holds really good crossfires. Just like CYCLOPS had an easy time on their defense, it could be an easy time for DAMWON.
Round number 9 then heading downstairs once again. Just foregoing dorms at the minute. DAMWON Kia not keen on going up to that top floor after managing to lock down meeting. They're going to give the basement another try now. Interestingly, Jess, and I don't know if this is a little bit of a bait on the part of DAMWON Kia in site choice here. We've no Monty being brought along, who was instrumental last time around in CYCLOPS attacking this site. Could be good news for DAMWON Kia.
Anaton doesn't have the Monty, but does have the grenades. And I think that probably actually will really help. I say that they got 3 Ash charges, got the Zofia, they 6-picked onto the Zofia there. They were, I mean, DWG Kia were cooking ADSs with their own grenades because they didn't have flashes to deal with it, so maybe that's something that CYCLOPS is very aware of. And when you do a blue take, if you're not going to aggress with the Monty downstairs or down the back stairs, then things get tricky. Speaking of tricky, Gator, you were not going to get out of that one alive because that was the tiniest pixel pig I think I've ever seen someone hold from Freezer Door.
There we go, yes. That is exactly what we've been waiting for. He said top kills in the league coming into today and really starting to double down now that he's got himself on defense. 7 and 4 and picking up the pace and making CYCLOPS' life a living misery here in round number 9 as he shuts down the Ash of Gator and just takes a little bit of that sting out of the early attack. And the reason that I brought up the Monty so much was this position on backstairs last time around. It was the word you used was oppressive, Jess, and it was. They just DWG Kia did not know the answer. They didn't have any response. They didn't have nitros in hand. They do have one this time with with Woogieman, sorry. So the option is there to deal with the Monty a little bit easier, but they just didn't know what to do with the big shieldy boy, and there's just too much information fed back in, and CYCLOPS worked off it beautifully. Now Suzuki is just looking to get himself established inside a bunker there. He's got his ankles held down, but he's just going to dip back off and get on the drones for now.
Well, there's one Twitch drone going down. Quick peek from Coded. Yes, he's goaded. He takes out Suzuki, and that's why you open up that line of sight there. You get a bit of a freebie into the double door, and when you have so much to deal with in Blue Bunker, it can be hard to watch that. Watch over towards Elbow, which is now being reinforced off. And I mean, hey, that grenade, it did its job. Might not have the Monty, but that grenade absolutely forced Katsang out of that key power position, gets rid of the shield, and it also makes them reinforce off the wall. Trouble with that, where is Gutterata? Here we go, finally getting himself on in. Make sure that you open the wall because you've got 3 Selmas in pocket. Seems a little bit crucial that you start using them.
45 seconds left to go then, and as you say, there's work to be done from CYCLOPS here, and it needs to be done quickly. The Selmas are just being applied to the wall, I believe. I just think I caught out the side of my eye. Yes, Gatorada moving in that direction, but doesn't seem to have taken the chance just yet. Now, out comes the Toxic Babe Canisam. The Mute Jammer, of course. They've not got any option to clear that one out at the time being, especially with Freezer locked down. That is now an important position for DWG Kia to hold on to. The push instead is coming in through Electrical, but Courted, he's just holding himself, and what a nitro from Woogieman. Sends it into the box and turns it into a coffin for Anaton. Shutting him down now. In comes an aggressive push. Gatorada trying to get something going. Looking for an explosive play and finds a kill onto Courted, but cannot find any more as Rin and Katsang get in and do the damage. Shut down the round, and DWG Kia, they now find themselves 3-6, and they are fighting back 1 round at a time.
We're getting a heavy defensive-sided Oregon here today, ladies and gentlemen, and you're probably sitting there going, well, yeah, hasn't that always been the case? I mean, no, I'm gonna put you in your place right here real quick. Consulate has a high defensive rating. What else does? Villa, Clubhouse, Coastline, and Cafe. The only one that has a less defensive sidedness than Oregon and all of Asia Pacific North, Chalet. That's it.
As we would expect them. DWG Kia coming in and doing themselves well. Now, interestingly, Jess, we're going up to dorms this time, and they are bringing along the Clash. We're seeing a real battle of the shields so far here today. Now, Anaton has brought the Monty, but it's one of those, I wouldn't say a little known, but certainly lesser known counters, is that Clash is a direct counter to Monty because the electricity does damage him through his shield. So should
you know what else it does?
What does it do?
does the shield break now as well. Pops open his little shin to get shot. Just so you know, just so people don't know.
If those two come face to face, the Clash is going to win out, or should win out, almost every single time. So this could be a great response to the trouble that they've been having with the Monty.
I am interested. You know, we're going to say all of these beautiful things about Katsang bringing Clash, and then Katsang will go down. Yeah, like absolutely will go down to something ridiculous. I can absolutely call it here right now. I hope not. Nevertheless, I bring my stats over. Have they ever played this composition on this map before?
Sometimes you got to roll the dice, Jess. Sometimes if you want to get a double six, you got to throw them. Never played Clash on this map ever. Not even once. Not even one teeny tiny out of the 14-1 games. Not even once, ladies and gentlemen. This is a pocket strat of all hopes. I think it definitely is in response to the pressure that they've seen from the Montagna of Anaton. And we'll see how it pans out. Clash at the minute is upstairs. Anaton is going on a roam clearance. Another job that Montagna can be used to great effect doing, because, of course, the roamers can't really challenge onto him. So he just pings out that information, tells the rest of his team where they are, and the roamers, they have no choice but to relocate, and you can just force them back and back and back until that relocation ends with them back on site. And you know, historically, I'm talking probably 2 years ago now, you know, Julio from NIP was probably one of the most famous for this at a point. He'd get into top floor consulate on the blitz and he'd just go full steam ahead and clear roamers out ahead of him, and it can be, if done well, a great way of doing it. Now then, we've got it, Jess, we've got the matchup that we wanted.
Look at Anaton. He just keeps looking. He goes, well, I'm going to hurt to the zaps. I'm also going to have shield break to the zaps. So if I hide in the corner here, I can be a little bit safe. And Katsang knows the power position that they hold really crucially. They better hope someone's watching over towards Trophy. And yes, they are. It's going to be Yas, because he needs his back held. That's when a Clash starts to get really tricky. Shield break employed over towards White. If someone came over and quick peeked, it's a free kill onto Anaton. And that's what I was worried about. I was worried about that player getting sort of popped as he ran past, and baiting that re-shield is going to be beautiful, because it means the Monty's also going to bait the re-shield. Oh my goodness, we have a battle of the shields that I've not seen in a very long time.
I love to see it, Jess. It's everything that I love about Siege. It's not all about the gunplay, it's about the counters, it's about the alternative strategies, and it's about being able to milk the most that you can out of each operator. And seeing these two put on such a masterclass of how to aggress and deal with aggressive shields is great so far. But we've had 2 kills come in for Cyclops, 5 versus 3, and things are getting tense inside a site for DAMWON Kia now. They, of course, need to win this round. Anaton, his life is just being tickled away from him one step at a time here by Katsang. They have no answer to this Clash just yet. They've put a man on the window, but the problem is that the defense is falling around apart from that shield, and Clash cannot survive alone. It is all down to Yas here. Katsang drops the shield, manages to use the SMG to find a kill onto Gatarada. That is a big shift in power here. Ayagator gets Yas though, and that could be the crucial moment for DAMWON. Clash has no option but to fight now. Drops the shield, shut down by his arch nemesis of Anaton. One shield destroys another, and that is going to be a good attack from Cyclops there. But what a fascinating battle we had on White Stairs.
Who is the better shield? Well, today it's going to be Anaton, but that was a valiant effort. Nevertheless, unfortunately, if teams are looking at this from all over the APAC North region, they're going to be thinking how well Anaton has been playing the Monty today. And I definitely think we will see that in future bans, because that was an intel and killing machine all in one, best of both worlds. And Cyclops, they will